Okay, so hi everyone. Today I will be taking you on a demonstration on how to use Duolingo effectively so that students learn the target language in the classroom or of the classroom. So before I begin, I just want to let you know right now that there is a common misconception right now about Duolingo. By no means is Duolingo to be used to become fluent in a language, nor is it for language acquisition. If you're watching this and you're a world language educator, you already know that there is a difference between learning a language and acquiring a language. If you are not a world language educator, briefly, learning a language happens consciously while acquiring a language happens subconsciously. Right, so let's start off by going to the Duolingo site, which I already have up for you. And you will be directed to either go to log in or get started. And let's just say that you might not have an account, the student might not have an account, um, which I should say they should create a new one, right? Because um, you will find out later why. But yes, have students sign up for a new account, which will be only used for school. And we're gonna click on Get Started, and you will be directed to choose language. So depending on your class, but let's say for my class, I would be using Spanish, right? And for this page, you could choose to fill it in or not. It's up to you. Okay, so for here, why are you learning a language? Well, for school. So, right, so we're going to click school. Right, so for daily goal, now we don't want to replace educator with this technological tool. So let's say 15 minutes, which can be either part of warm up or part of practice time in the middle or in the middle of the lesson or towards the end of the class. That is really up to you. But again, I do want to emphasize that students are by no means to be spending their entire class on Duolingo. That is not going to be good for them. It's not appropriate. So yes. So for the reminder, it's up to you, up to the student, up to you. But I find them personally distracting. Right, so now, and then for your path, it's gonna be up to each student, right? Each student that you get might know a little Spanish, might not know any Spanish. So again, it's gonna be depending. And this is I should say that it is in a way helpful for you because if you know what based on the results of whether they are learning Spanish for the first time or already know some Spanish, you already might know the level of the students and you can either use this as a guide or not. And if you do decide to use this as a guide, you can even start off with Duolingo the first day if you are comfortable with doing so. If students are way ahead of what you anticipated, then you might be able to skip over some parts of the lesson. And if they're not, you might want to go slow. So let's say the student already knows Spanish, right? Okay, so they're gonna take a test jump to start, right? So yo hablo español, you have to write this in English. I speak Spanish, right? And the student gets feedback automatic. If they did it correct, they'll know that they did it correct. A burger with cheese, let's say, let's do this wrong, right? To see what the student will get. And they are provided with the correct solution. So we're not gonna go through the whole test, but that's just like to let you know what students will be directed to do. If they know Spanish, they'll be taking this test. If not, they're gonna go straight to the tutorial, which is the basic level. Okay, so okay, sorry. Okay, so this is my profile. As you could see, I already have some work done. But this is what students will be seeing, what you will be seeing. So after I took the placement test, I was taking to another. I was, how could I say it? I was accelerated. I couldn't show you because I got kicked out, but this is my personal one. And what is awesome about Duolingo is that every lesson is broken down into themes, right? So after the intro or placement test, the students will go in to take phrases, travel, restaurant, family, um, shopping, and so on. The good thing about the awesome thing about Duolingo is that students can move on until they have completed the prior level, which is in a way helpful because we don't want students working ahead um, if they haven't gotten through the prior levels. Okay, so let's go with the features before I show you a lesson. So we have the crowns, which the student will earn as they move up the levels. The streaks are I believe it's a good tool for the teachers because you can use this for a grade or to check in with students. If you want students to constantly be on Duolingo because it helps them because you find that it keeps them on track. You can use the streaks if let's say a student didn't go on Thursday and Friday. You can use this against them and actually use it for a grade. So I think that's good. And then lingots, it's the currency of the lingo. So let's go over a level. Okay, so as you could see, it is level 0.5 and less than 0.4. So what this means is that students are not gonna, finish this travel all in one sit down. They're gonna have to practice and practice. And I'm not sure if we're gonna see it because I'm not gonna show you like all 4 levels. But students will be practicing their typing, their hearing, their speaking, and also their translating because some of the activities require translating. So I think this is a good feature for Duolingo because students are not just clicking on the right or wrong answer. Um, they're gonna have to speak. They're gonna have to pay attention here, type, and they're gonna have to type in the correct format, the correct punctuation, and also the acentos, the accents, because that is something that students are gonna have to be proficient, right? So this is what our level looks like. This is the beginning of the levels. So which one is a taxi? It's el taxi, right? The passport, el pasaporte. So to write this in English, right? And you have to listen to it. So a taxi, right? Which one of these is a suitcase? Which one of these is the phone? El teléfono. right? And they curious, like they have the feature of typing in, and you might want students to be using this. And if you do, it should be enforced. They're gonna have to type in it and type. They're not gonna be able to type it in class. They're gonna have to write it. So that I think this is a good feature too. But for the purposes of this tutorial, let's see. You know, sorry, por favor. And like I said, let's say I would have, you know, turned it in. It's telling you it's not correct, and then I get like I'm not sure if you noticed, but you got sent back, right? So you, as you get the correct answers, you keep on going. If you get them wrong, you go back. So my necesito un, and what is here, the visual is a taxi, right? And so this is when you are given to fill in a sentence, you have that feature, and that is great for students at the beginning level. Right, you see, my passport. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. Right here, you see, and that is what a level looks like. And students get gifts, they get the streak, etc., etc. Then let's say we go on more. Okay, you're gonna have to practice more vocab, but as students progress, I'm not sure I can show you guys, but as students progress, they're gonna have to type in the sentences themselves, and they're not gonna be given the option of using, you know, the word box. They're gonna have to type it in themselves. They're also gonna have to speak. Because this is a basic level, they're not requiring the students to speak. They're learning more about the vocab, but later on they're gonna have to use the vocab to form their own sentences, to ask questions, and that is something that students will be doing with other bilinguals, you know, out of the classroom. This is their Duolingo is practically teaching students how to use their language in the classroom so that they can use that in the outside of the classroom. And by now you might be asking yourselves, well, how can I keep track of students' progress? How can I keep tabs on my students? Because as you saw there, there's no option for student or teacher profile. So one of the solutions that I found is helpful is just to befriend each other. You're gonna have to befriend your students. They're gonna have to befriend your follow you back. And in doing so, you can keep track of their scores and activities. So these are some of the students that I've had in the past. Okay, this is weird. Oh, sorry, it's a leak. Sorry. So you could go to also right here, friends, right? So right here, you're gonna be able to keep track of students. Hold on. You're gonna have to sorry. You can keep track of their scores and activity if you click on one of them. Let's say Emily, let's say. You're taking to her profile, you see the stats, and then you see how active the person was. And I know there have been concerns about safety, about students adding other people that are not in the classroom, or messaging other students. I mean, other people that are not students. But if you have the digital citizenship lesson prior to using any technology, then this should not be a problem at all at the high school level, right? Students will therefore know not to befriend anybody else that is not the educator or peer. Um, so in all, I think I believe this is a great app for educators to use in a world language class. It doesn't have to. It's not only for Spanish, as you may know. It's other languages can be used as well. And so that is my tutorial on using Duolingo in the classroom. And that is all for today. Thank you guys for stopping by.